This never made it to the news. No headlines, no cameras, but it happened. A full city, buried beneath the sands of Egypt, lay hidden for over 3,000 years, and the weirdest part, it was almost untouched. Walls with laser-like cuts, tunnels sealed from the inside. A mummy that didn't look human. Then the military showed up, and now leaked footage is starting to surface. What it shows is too terrifying to ignore. Because maybe this city wasn't just forgotten. Maybe it was hidden. And the real question is, why? What if what steps under the sand is the ultimate proof that ancient Egypt wasn't set alone? Imagine walking through the Egyptian desert, the hot wind slicing across your face, unaware that just beneath your feet lies an entire city, frozen in time. That's exactly what archaeologists found near Luxor, a lost metropolis, intact, with streets, walls, and artifacts so well preserved. It's like the people vanished, suddenly. Its name, the Lost Golden City. But the real question is, why did it disappear without a trace? The city was built by Pharaoh Amenhotep III, Tutankhamun's grandfather, and mysteriously vanished at its peak. Around the 14th century BC, historical records just stop. No signs of war, no natural disasters, just silence. As if everyone left in the same instant, leaving behind tools, jewelry, and food, like they were planning to return, but they never did. Modern Egypt is full of pyramids and tombs, but an entire city, buried and forgotten? This changes everything. This opens up a new mystery no one is talking about. What if the Golden City wasn't just forgotten, but deliberately hidden? Because what archaeologists found next doesn't seem human. Among the ruins of the Golden City, archaeologists discovered something that didn't fit the usual narrative. Utensils still warm when they were abandoned, bowls with leftover food, bricks bearing fresh fingerprints, as if everything was interrupted in the middle of daily life. No one carefully stacks their jewelry before fleeing, yet there it was, perfectly untouched. Even stranger were the construction patterns. Everything followed a perfectly symmetrical layout, as if a modern architect had designed it using precision tools. But this was over 3,000 years ago. No computers, no cranes, no advanced instruments. How did they achieve that level of perfection? And why were there inscriptions inside walls that didn't match the art of that dynasty? But what truly shocked researchers was what they found in the city's center. A sealed chamber blocked off with stones not native to Egypt. When opened, the air inside was breathable. You heard that right, after 3 millennia, still breathable. Was that room meant to store something, or to protect us from what was inside? Right after the Golden City vanished, something strange happened. The young pharaoh Akhenaten rose to power and began erasing the old gods. Literally. He destroyed temples, banned sacred texts, and demanded that one single god, the sun, be worshipped. But why? What did he witness that made him flip the world upside down? Some scholars say Akhenaten was a visionary, but others believe he was only delivering a message from something greater. His physical features still spark debate: elongated skull, large eyes, an odd bone structure. The statues don't lie. And here's the kicker. He rose to power right after the city disappeared. Coincidence or connection? What if the city didn't vanish by chance, but because of a contact, something not of this earth? What if Akhenaten tried to rebuild society under the control of a higher celestial force? Because after him, Egypt fell into chaos and silence took over again. In one of the city's best preserved sectors, walls were found with cuts so precise they looked machine-made. And yet, this was 3,400 years ago. The stones fit together with surgical perfection, no mortar, no erosion. How is that possible? None of the tools discovered can explain such craftsmanship. Nothing in the archaeological record supports this level of engineering. Even more intriguing, the streets were paved with identical polished blocks, arranged to channel hot air through the city. That's not just urban planning, that's primitive climate control. They knew how to handle the heat better than we expected. But who taught them? Why didn't these methods spread to other Egyptian cities of the same era? It's as if this city was given a knowledge others didn't have. A one-time gift, sealed and buried. But the real mystery began when they dug beneath the city. While digging deeper, archaeologists uncovered tunnels that didn't show up on maps, nor did they match any design from the time. Narrow, deep, some leading to empty chambers, others still unexplored. The creepy part? Many were sealed from the inside, like someone was hiding or locking away something. What were they trying to protect down there? There were carvings inside the tunnels, but they weren't hieroglyphs. They looked more like symbols, codes, almost like circuit boards, etched in stone, patterns that don't appear anywhere else in Egypt. Could these be signs of a parallel civilization or clues left by someone non-human? No Egyptologist has been able to decode them. Then came the truly bizarre part. Scanning equipment kept failing. Compasses spun uncontrollably. Electromagnetic readings spiked. Sensors broke for no reason. Something down there is still active. Something that maybe was never meant to be found. Long-forgotten papyri describe an event few discuss, a living light that descended from the heavens, hovered over the land, and emitted a sound that made animals freeze and time stand still. This was documented at the same time as the Golden City's peak. Coincidence? Or the oldest known account of contact with something non-terrestrial? This living light was worshipped as divine, but the unsettling part is what came next. The records say it chose people, took them briefly. They returned, changed. Some no longer spoke. Others drew strange symbols no one could understand. Were these ancient abductions? No one wants to say it, but the words are there, and the spot where that light landed. It's the exact site where the city was uncovered. Same region, same coordinates. What if the light is the real reason the city was buried? Among the unearthed objects were amulets with symbols that don't match any known language. They weren't hieroglyphs, not Sumerian, not even remotely similar to anything documented. Just curved lines, repeating sequences, almost like ancient circuitry carved into stone. And despite multiple tests, no one can identify where they came from, but the material? Even stranger. One amulet was made from a metallic alloy that doesn't occur naturally on Earth, at least not in the way it was forged. Lighter than aluminum, tougher than titanium. The dating? Over 3,000 years old. That's impossible. No known technology from that time could have produced it. Yet there it was, buried, waiting. What else was hidden beneath the Golden City? These objects weren't randomly dropped. They were buried on purpose. And whoever left them seemed to know someone would find them. Right after the Golden City was announced, something odd happened. Excavations were suddenly paused, and military presence intensified around the site. No real explanation was given. Journalists were turned away. Since then, several sections of the city have remained off-limits. Why? A supposed leak from Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities revealed emails referencing an underground chamber filled with non-conventional artifacts. The instructions? Isolate it, catalog it, and remove it from the country. But why take something so historically important and hide it? And why are there no public photos? Only vague mentions. Here's the chilling part. Documents hint that foreign agents, even US officials, visited the site immediately after the discovery. If it was just archaeology, why involve international intelligence? Inside one of the excavated temples, carvings were found that resembled constellations, but they didn't match our current night sky. The stars were out of alignment, like they were drawn either from a different time or a different place in space. At the center, the Eye of Osiris, surrounded by overlapping rings. Ancient texts describe Osiris not just as a god, but a being who came from the stars. He supposedly left behind a celestial map, a path to return, hidden in sacred places. And guess what? The Golden City sits right on one of those coordinates, one of the few untouched until now. Could this all be part of the plan? Even more bizarre, the same star pattern was found in Central America. Civilizations separated by oceans, carving the same sky, that's not coincidence. That's communication. Among the excavation's most confidential findings was a mummy unlike any ever seen in Egypt. Over 2 meters tall, oversized skull, elongated limbs, deep eye sockets. Those who saw it said, "That's not human." No official photos, no public statements, but one archaeologist slipped. he mentioned a disturbing discovery requiring outside assistance. Within 48 hours, a helicopter landed in the restricted zone. The mummy was packaged and flown out. No press coverage, no record of where it went. Since then, online documents have vanished. Archived pages deleted. Researcher profiles wiped clean. It's like someone hit erase on reality. But people saw it, and some leaks still survive. The truth is clawing its way out. And maybe that mummy is the real reason the city was buried. Official records call it Aten, the lost golden city. But nearby tombs mention a place called Zah-Hem-Tep, cursed by the gods for trying to mirror the sky on Earth. That city was never found, until now. The description matches. Same layout, same location, just the name was changed. Why? If this city was known for defying the gods, maybe it tried to unlock a power it shouldn't have. Something celestial, something forbidden. The inscriptions mention portals between worlds and beings with eyes of fire. That sounds like fiction, but it's carved in stone. What made the ancients bury even the name of this place? Changing the name was just the first step. Then came the silence, the burial, the censorship. But now that the city has resurfaced, maybe its true name will echo again. Some of the few tourists allowed near the site experienced strange symptoms: sudden nausea, confusion, time distortion. One visitor stood staring at a wall for minutes and couldn't remember why. Others heard low hums, vibrations that seemed to come from underground, sounds that no device could trace. One case stood out. A German tourist filmed a high-pitched sound near the site. But when reviewing the footage, the audio was gone. Corrupted. She tried sharing it online. Her profile was banned hours later. Similar stories followed, as if someone or something was erasing the evidence in real time. But the creepiest detail came from a local guide. I'd have taken dozens of people there, and there sits always someone who forgets the way back. Independent researchers scanned satellite imagery of the Golden City region and made a shocking discovery: underground formations stretched for miles, connected by lines so perfect they formed geometric patterns. Mandalas, constellations, even designs that resemble modern circuitry. And this exact pattern? It's shown up in Machu Picchu, in Teotihuacan, even Stonehenge, all built by civilizations that supposedly never met. What does that mean? That these sites are part of a global blueprint, a code scattered across time and continents. Who drew it? If the Golden City is part of something much larger, then we're no longer talking about history, we're talking about design. Since the discovery, Egypt's leadership has made only vague comments. No full footage, no raw data, just generic praise for cultural importance. Meanwhile, military presence doubled, excavations shifted to nighttime, and civilian access cut. Rumors claim high-level officials made private visits without press. What did they see? No one knows. But after those visits, multiple regional projects were quietly halted, like something bigger was taking priority, something that had to be studied or contained. In this case, silence says more than words, because when even the powerful go quiet, it's not for nothing. When you connect the dots, the advanced technology, the non-human artifacts, the underground tunnels, the star maps, the giant mummy, it all points to one conclusion: this city wasn't built only by human hands. Something else was involved. Something beyond. For centuries, people mocked the idea of aliens in Egypt, but the Golden City changes the game. It's too perfect, too different, too modern. And the timing? Almost like it was meant to be found now, as if it was left behind for us. So the question is no longer, what is this place? It's why did they bury it, and what else is about to surface? If any of this is true, then history isn't what we were told. The Golden City isn't just an archaeological site, it sits a message, a warning. Or maybe an invitation from something not of this earth. Something that SIP's been waiting to be rediscovered. Now that SIP's been exposed, what else are they hiding? And why now? If this story made you question what SIP's real, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and share this with someone who deserves to know the truth. Because what SIP's buried in Egypt might only be the beginning.